Judgment here. We are in a hell level game with Lupin the Druid, whom I started quite some months ago. I played him through the game as a Wind Druid, and you can see from the glow there that he now has the Elders set. It has been my habit when a player has completed the game solo self-found to then equip that character with the appropriate high level set. I've never used the Elders Watchtower set, and I looked around for a suitable build. It seems to be considered the weakest of the sets, so it took some time to find a suitable build, and I found a couple, but the build I'm about to show you is essentially one put up by Extremis some years ago. It's a Fireclaw Druid build. His character plays as a bear. This character I'm going to play as a wolf. So here is my version of the Elders Watchtower setup, essentially borrowed from Extremis. The helm, with its full 50 cold resistance, these are ones I've found down the years. This particular one has 2 perfect topaz in it to up the magic find. The armour, I could put a socket in that, but I've not done so. The boots, and the weapon I've up to a Devil's Star. Now, I have dropped the requirements by using a Hell rune, and the other 2 sockets are occupied by Shale runes to up the attack speed. The rest of the gear consists of a Storm Shield. Again, I could socket that, but I've not done so. String of Ears with its full 15% damage reduction. Probably the best Ravenfrost I've ever found. A Carrion Wind ring as suggested by Extremis. Laying of Hands principally for the attack speed, and High Lords for the amulet, also principally for the attack speed. On switch I have Call to Arms and Lidless Wall. Charms, one of my better Druid torches, the best of my 3 Annihilus charms, a good Geeds, Shape-shifting with hit recovery, Fire Sunder charm, Shape-shifting with Run Walk, 37 to life Shape-shifting. The small charms, Dexterity with Fire Resistance, Dexterity with Fire Resistance with hit recovery, and then some Magic Find small charms. The overall stats and advanced stats look like this. This is a max block build, so the strength gets to be 210 because you need to put enough strength in to equip the Shadow Plate, which in turn gives you enough to equip the Devil's Star once the Hell rune has been added, and then you get a strength bonus from the entire set that gets it up to 210. You see there's a base value of 76. Dexterity, okay, base 103, but we have full 75% block. Energy left at its base value, everything else into Vitality, and I still have 10 stat points remaining. And I would stress I've not had to use a respec. I originally had enough stat points left over to equip the Shadow Plate and the upped Jagged Star. If you play the set with the Jagged Star, you won't have enough points to equip it as a Devil's Star, and unfortunately we're not allowed to strength bug anymore. Notice there the 27% lifesteal and the 15% mana steal. The significant breakpoint here, playing as a wolf, is 105, and we've passed that. We are at 110. We have 47 run walk. I still think that's a bit small. 42 I think is an exact breakpoint for wolf druids. We have some measure of deadly strike by virtue of the High Lords, and we have the full 50% damage reduction that's allowable. For skills, 1 point into Werewolf, Feral Rage to get down to Fire Claws, which we maximised, and we have about 10,000 damage there for the moment. And again, 1 into Werebear, 1 into Maul just to get to Fire Claws. Extra points at the moment I'm putting into Lycanthropy because I'm trying to test whether the Werewolf or the Werebear is the best option. In Extremis' original build video, he played as a Werebear. I basically prefer to play as a wolf. It doesn't seem to matter a great deal. Summoning, 1 point to each of these. When Extremis' original build was put out, you weren't allowed to summon multiple creatures to aid you. Per that build, I have maximised Heart of Wolverine. Elemental, we have maximised Firestorm and Molten Boulder because they are the synergies for Fireclaws. Mercenary has my best non-ethereal Reaper's Toll because we're not going for extreme gear yet. Treachery and a Mage Plate. I want an ethereal base there. I haven't found one yet. And a Wilderness Face Helm. That gives him these advanced stats, and here treachery is desirable. I think the breakpoint is 42, so as much as I arguably prefer hustle as an armour, that only is 40 attack speed, and we would drop an attack speed breakpoint on the mercenary. I'll show you a couple of other bits of gear I was using. This build here uses nothing but stock standard uniques and set items. However, I'll show you a couple of other options that I've got for this character. There is another Elder's Stony Gaze with a couple of fire facet jewels in it, I think minus 4 4s. But the unusual part are the gloves and that amulet. So that gives us Crushing Blow. We now have attack speed, Crushing Blow, a little bit more lifesteal. We've maintained our full plus 50% fire resistance because this amulet has 20 or resists. Now I think that's a wonderful amulet. 2 to druid skills, dual leech, all resistances 20, but just for the sake of using unique items that players can obtain, I have normally run with the Laying of Hands and High Lords. I also have a Cat's Eye there just for the run walk, and that would also maintain the attack speed. I've also got Dracul's Grasp here, but that's not really necessary. Teleportation Staff, not really necessary. That Vampire Gaze is for the mercenary. The current terror zone is the Bloodmaw. Bloodmaw is a fairly easy area. We are going to show you a little bit of gameplay here. I don't find Call to Arms all that necessary. We're still in the situation where you can't cast these things while in wolf or bear form. So we're on switch, we put up battle orders, swap back, raise our ravens, bear, spirit, dire wolves. I don't worry about spirit wolves, I don't find they're durable enough, and we change into wolf form. I don't find battle orders to be all that necessary. We have 27 lifesteal and 15 mana steal, and we gain about 600 or 700 life, but with maximum block and about 3000 life, this character survives quite well. Our damage is approximately 11 to 12,000. Oh, there's a unique group there. There's immune to physical stone skin. You can see it's a little trouble. There's another one. Okay, that's a worthy opponent. Okay, we're going to back out of that one, get the refilling shrine. Now that's a rare example where I've actually had to back out of a melee battle. Normally the lifesteal is more than good enough to keep the character alive, so I'm glad I was able to show you that. Here with maximum block and so much lifesteal, it's very rare for this character to need to use potions. So if I swap out of wolf form, go to battle orders, and swap back, you'll now notice the damage is up to 12 to 13,000. We have the usual melee disadvantage of only being able to tackle one monster at a time. We can, if we want, change into a bear, but you then get a different set of attack speed and hit recovery breakpoints. Notice the life is over 4,000. There we go. Oh, there's an experience shrine all along. So that one's fire enchanted. We're going to knock it down anyway. Yeah, with only 1 point in bear, bear's a little bit fragile, but he holds up well enough. Oh, there's another experience shrine. Actually, we're going to use that and go down and face Corpse Fire. Okay, here's Corpse Fire's lot. He's unfortunately cursed. So lifesteal keeps up quite well. have a look at those shrines first, given we missed a couple of experience ones. Okay. Alright, there's fanaticism. Oh, there we go, people. Just as I was saying, not enough high runes. Well, that's the first one I've seen for a long time. There's a Cham rune. Another possibility instead of using a Hell rune is to use a Jewel of Freedom. And I do have one that has both the requirements minus 15% and 40% enhanced damage, though I have to say that's probably a bit too good to use on what will be a temporary build. We might be able to improve this build by including a physical Sunder Charm in place of one of the shape-shifting skills, but I'm perfectly happy with what it does at the moment. That's my take on the Elder's Watchtower build. My criticism is that it's essentially a one-button build. You just flail away with fire claws. All the video you've seen in this has been in Players 7 mode. I have yet to try this character in the genuinely difficult areas of the game. I'm picking and choosing the terror zones in which I play this character. The next step will be, as usual, to give this character the best gear that I have, and there I have something of a choice. I still have one Zod rune left over from finding one in LOD, and I have a perfect ethereal ribcracker, and I think 3 ethereal tomb readers, which I understand to be the weapon of choice for wolf druids. I'll have to make a choice as to which weapon I choose and assemble a build from there, and hopefully I will use that build to take Lupin into the very high levels.